Good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're at. It's getting almost dark here, and it's only 5 p.m., so that's hard to tell whether it should be afternoon or evening. But welcome to Dewey's Bingo this week. I'm glad to see we've got at least a couple people here already. Hopefully we'll get some more. This week's theme is fairs and carnivals. And we're not talking Carnivals, the ship. We're talking carnivals like you would find in a parking lot or in a school lot or a church lot, something like that. But there'll be all kinds of rides and people and foods and stuff that's all related to that. So it should be a fun one. Hopefully we'll get some more. It looks like we've got 2 people in here playing so far today. Welcome, Michael Ann. I see you there in chat. It's good to have you here. And I see Greg has a card, so I'm assuming he's online and here. So welcome, Greg. And hopefully we'll get some more people in here. Hope you all had a great week. Mine's been busy, especially today. Been getting ready because tomorrow is cruise day. So we're going to take off on the Oasis of the Seas for the weekend and go to Nassau and Coco Cay. So hopefully all the storms will kind of stay away from there so that we don't get washed out. So we'll see what happens. And if all else fails, Oasis is a big enough ship. There's plenty to do on the ship. So we shall see. What do you guys have planned for this weekend? We've got another person that's here online. I wonder if they're going to come up in chat or if they're going to play a card. I don't see any signs of them on either one of those, but yeah, Michael Ann, recovering from a cruise can be kind of hard sometimes, especially the older you get. It's like, oh, it's not always an easy thing to do. Excuse me. This one I'm looking forward to because it is on the Oasis. This will be my 5th or 6th time on this ship. But what I'm looking forward to is I've got a friend going with me who went, he's never been on a royal ship, yet alone one this big. So it'll be a new experience to him. So I've tried to book as many things. I booked all of the shows, and hopefully we'll spend a lot of time exploring the ship and so he can see what it's all about. I know as many times as I've been on that ship, there's still things I haven't seen or done. So, hey, Greg, there you are. Glad to see you showing up in the chat. Hope your week was a good one. Oh, sorry to hear about a friend being in the hospital, Michael Ann. That's never good. Okay, well, come on, people. Let's get in here and play. At least we have 2 people today, so it's not like a no-show. We're like the couple of weeks that we had there for a while. Oh, sorry to hear that, Greg. I hope you get feeling better soon. And I hope we don't catch a cold while we're in Nassau. We're going to Margaritaville because I love their water park there and the lazy river and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to spend the day there if it doesn't rain us out anyway. Otherwise, I don't usually bother to go on shore in Nassau. One of these days I will when I'm traveling by myself so I can try out some of the casinos there, see if they're any good. But haven't been to any of them in Nassau. But we'll see how that goes. But we'll give a few more minutes, see if anybody else shows up in the play. I know Captain Billy is working, and so he's not available at this time. He's actually working in the office instead of at home. So hopefully we'll get some people a chance to catch up with him. And Larry, I believe, is unavailable because this is about the time he goes picks up his wife from work. So our two number one players are unavailable. So Greg's third in line, and he's here today, so you guys can work on that. And Michael Ann is fourth in line. So you guys got a good chance to do some catching up here. I've never been to Atlantis, Greg, though I would like to, but it just seems so pricey for what they have to offer. But one of these days, hopefully I'll make it there just to see what it's all about. Yeah, I'm surprised she isn't either. I sent out messages to all of our regular people that I could think of, and so far you two are the only ones here, so we'll see what happens. Well, I think we'll go ahead and get started here. So if anybody comes in, they can join us, or they can wait till the next game. So, bring up our bingo caller here. And, we got to pick a game. I remembered this time. Okay. Let's see. Greg, since you're ahead in the winnings, I'll let you pick what game you'd like to play. So these are the games we have to choose from. I have one or two in mind because of the theme of the bingo game today. So we'll see if you come up with any of those. Okay, Greg wants to play the boat. That was one of them. I was thinking of that or the airplane, since a lot of rides seem to have those kind of things. So we were thinking under the same lines. So let me find the boat here. There we go, boat. And turn off the other list. And now we will get ready to play. So remember, we're covering to look like a boat. Let me go up here and turn on the cards so I can see what's going on. Okay, our first one will be a blooming onion. I know a lot of those show up in restaurants, but I have seen them on occasion at fairs or carnivals. So, I like a blooming onion. I've never tried to make one at home. I think it would be way too messy. Okay, our next one is French fries. And of course, you can get those all over the place for fairs and carnivals. Vinegar fries and cheesy fries and all kinds of stuff. Me and some friends used to go to the county fair when it was around. We go at least one day during the fair, and we called it grazing at the fair. And that's all we did, is just go for all that food you could only find at the fair. It was a lot of fun. Sometimes we'd go if there was a good show. Okay, skee ball. That's another fun one to play at a lot of these events. I never was very good at it, but it was always fun to give it a shot. And snow cones. Mine never looked that good as in the picture, but I bet you those would have been tasty. Hush up. The dog I'm watching loves to bark at everybody that walks by out back. Okay, our next item is the ring toss. That's always a fun game. There's many different versions of it. Sometimes it's on pegs, sometimes it's on bottles, sometimes it'll be like on duck necks or animals. There's all kinds of versions of it. Okay, then we have the bounce house. Those are probably more frequently seen at carnivals than fairs, but they could be at both. And some people even have them at their own private parties. So I had a friend of mine that when her daughter turned 2, I think it was, they had a bounce house at the park for their party, and kids sure enjoyed that. Our next one is churros. Those are kind of a more recent addition to fair food. I know when I was young, they didn't have churros, but I know that you can find them all over the place. Some are good, some are excellent, some are just, yeah. There was a place we were at in Cancun, one of the all-inclusive resorts, and they had a little shop in there that made them homemade while you watched. They were good. Ice cream, you gotta have ice cream, whether it be soft serve or scooped or gelato or yogurt or whatever version. But nothing like good old ice cream when you're in the hot old summertime for fairs and carnivals. Then you got the drop tower. I've never been on one of these, but I bet it would be fun. I've seen them, before in different places. I think one of the buildings in Vegas, Stratosphere, is it? Something like that. I think they have one of those up at the top. Then we have the devil's wheel. You sit there and try to keep it in the middle as much as you can before you spin off of it. Oh, I've never tried that one, but it always looked fun when you watch other people spinning all over. Then you have jugglers. They roam around juggling bowling pins and bowling balls and flaming torches and swords and who knows what all else. Sometimes you even see the jugglers on the cruise ships as part of the entertainment. Then we have mini golf. I love mini golf. That's one thing I like down here in Florida, although I haven't been to play since I've lived here. But there's a lot of mini golf courses all around, and boy, I enjoy those. And I even enjoy watching the videos of people that play them and stuff. So I always enjoyed putt-putt a lot when I was in Illinois, because that was about the closest thing we had to a mini golf. But it wasn't too bad either. I got pretty good after a while. Then you got peanuts. Gotta have the peanuts. Sometimes they're roasted. Sometimes they're just warm. Sometimes they got seasoning on them. But peanuts are good. Cotton candy. No, who has never had cotton candy? That was such a popular thing when we were all small, and it's still popular to this day. Then you have the beer tent. Not so popular when you're small, but now as adults it can be popular. And it gets some pretty good crowds sometimes. Sometimes some rowdy crowds too, so you got to be careful. Especially out in the county fairs with some of the more redneck type people. Then you have the go-karts. Those are always fun. And of course, you got those on cruise ships too. I think it's NCL has the go-karts. So hopefully the next time I'm on an NCL ship, we'll be able to try out the go-karts. Then you have the bungee. I haven't done that one, but would love to, because that seems like it'd be fun and exciting. And I just love to watch the look on people's faces when they just screaming with delight or screaming with fear, one or the other. Then you have the sack race. Those are more for like the small carnivals, like your churches and schools and stuff. Hey, Destination Fun is there. Hey, Sherry, glad to have you here. We're about halfway through the first game, so you can go ahead and get a card, and you can continue playing, or you can wait till the next game, whichever you like. Then you got all the exhibitions, especially at fairs. You got, crafts and baked goods and art and stuff, and there's all kinds of things you can go look and see depending on what you like. Of course, you have all the animals and crops and stuff too that people grow for the 4-H. And we have cheese curds. That's kind of a That wasn't around when I was young, but boy, it's getting more popular now, especially up north like Wisconsin and Minnesota and stuff. You see those a lot. It depends, as long as they don't make them too greasy. I like them when they got a little bit of a crunch to them so they're not soggy. Then you have basketball. I was never any good at that, but some people could just pop those balls, boom, 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 boom. It was really interesting to watch and see how they do all that. Then we have pizza. Everybody likes pizza of some sort. So pizzas at a fair or pizzas at a carnival, you'll find plenty of that. And Devil's Wheel again. Wonder why that showed up twice. And sideshows. But you never know when you can find the bearded lady or the midgets and the tall person and all those different kinds of things. And the Ferris wheel. Not only find the Ferris wheel at the fairs and stuff, but now a lot of cities have them as a visitor's attraction. And they move very slow, so you can use it to view the surrounding area. And corn dogs. Yes, got to have a corn dog when you're at the fair or the carnival. At least one. And the water gun race. Shoot into the clown's mouth and blow up your balloon and try to be the first one to win. Pony rides. I didn't ride too many ponies. I was always a big kid, so that wasn't really set for me. That's more for the little kids. And the helicopters. Now, these I enjoyed when I was little. That was one of my favorite rides because you could control whether it went up or down. Even though it wasn't, that exciting. As a little kid, I really enjoyed it. So, and the fire eater. Boy, talk about a bad case of heartburn. Let's see. Look at the cards and see how people are doing. We got a few coming along here. Okay, and the mechanical bull. Anybody ridden one of those? I haven't, but it looks like it'd be a challenge. And cornhole. So you find those in fairs and carnivals and backyards, and even some ships have them and stuff. So that's getting to be a very popular type game. The lemon shake-ups. Gotta have a lemon shake-up. Nothing more soothing on a hot summer day when you're at the fair or carnival and get a big old lemon shake-up. Of course, sometimes they put way too much ice, so you don't really get much drink, but you never know. Soft pretzels. I love a good soft pretzel with a bunch of cheesy sauce on it, especially when it's good and warm, fresh. Oh, I'll even buy them in the store in the freezer just to make them as a snack sometimes. And I had little pretzel bites. They were like little, like big donut holes and stuff. I got some of those the other day I had a taste for pretzels and cheese, so I had to make me some. And popcorn. Of course, who can ever go to a fair or a carnival without smelling the smell of popcorn all over the place? And then you have the duck grab. Sit there and grab one of the ducks and check the bottom number and see if you were a winner. And funnel cakes. This is the way I like them, with the powdered sugar and the strawberries and the whipped cream. Oh, God, yes. There was a small town that I lived in for a while in Illinois, and there was an Amish town, and they had a big festival called the Broomcorn Festival. And my brother's in-laws at that time, they were pork producers, so they always had a big wagon that they took and sold the pork chop sandwiches and stuff like that. And where their booth was like right next to a place that had funnel cakes. So never failed. When you went there and had the pork chops, you had to go get the funnel cakes for dessert. And they kept everybody happy. That they gave them pork sandwiches, and then those people gave them their funnel cakes. So they shared. Then you got a tilt-a-whirl. These would make me sick. I wasn't good with tight circles. I was not good with that. So if you got on one that didn't spin a lot, that would be fine. But of course, everybody else wants to spin them, and I get a little green. The log flume, that was one I enjoyed. You didn't find them at the small carnivals and fairs, but you found them a lot at like amusement parks and stuff. And those were, I always enjoyed those. Plus, especially if you got sprayed with water and helped cool you off. Then you got pies. Part of those exhibitions in the baked goods when you find all the pies and then you go eat a bunch. Oh, it's a good way to gain weight. But they were tasty. And water slides. Not so much at a carnival, but some fairs you might find them. And a lot of your big parks have them now. Well, there's a drop tower again. I must have doubled up some of these without realizing it. Whack-a-mole. Boom, boom. Pop them on their heads. You remember those? And the river raft. That was another one of those water rides. That was fun. And the clowns. You got to have clowns at carnivals and fairs and circuses and all that kind of stuff. So as long as they weren't the scary kind of clowns. I was never afraid of the scary clowns. I just wasn't into them. They just didn't do anything for me. I like the fun-loving, cute kind. Then you got the bottle ball, where you sit there and throw the ball and try to knock over the bottles. It seems like an easy job, but boy, it wasn't. Then you have roller coasters. Some are small for little kids, and some of them are huge with big drops. Then you got haunted house. That was always a fun one. I love if you got a good haunted house. One of my favorite haunted houses was it was around Halloween. Where I lived in Illinois, north of me, there was an Air Force base, and a bunch of the firemen on the Air Force base there was an old abandoned hospital, and they turned that whole thing into a haunted house. And you'd have to wait in line sometimes half an hour to an hour or more, but it was well worth it because it was so good. It was better than most haunted houses in parks. Then you have archery. Sit there and try the bows and arrows. And the rifle shot. Sit there and try to ping all the little targets, and if you get enough of them, you could win a prize. Then you have the ladder toss. This one I think is relatively new. I don't remember seeing those in my younger days and stuff, but they are starting to show up, and you see a lot of those in small events like neighborhood type things because they're easy to make and inexpensive if you want to buy one. So then you have the gyroscope. Make you feel like you're in a space camp trying to keep from vomiting as you get spun all over the place. Then you have the glass ring toss. That's when you throw the ring over the bottle neck of a pop bottle. Sometimes you'd win that pop to drink. Sometimes you'd win other prizes. Depends how it was set up. Then the duck. I must have somehow repeated some of these. The wax museum. Those could be quite interesting and quite eerie, actually, because sometimes they seem too realistic. And hamburgers, good old hamburgers, one of the food staples of many parks and fairs and stuff. And the carousel. I loved carousels when I was little. I was afraid of the horses, so I would just sit in the seats. But as I got bigger, then they didn't bother me so bad. And I've even been on the carousel on some of the ships that they have, just because it's cool. And bingo! Hey, wonder where that came from. I can remember one festival we went to when I was little. There was a place called the Crumbstown Picnic. It was over 4th of July weekend all the time. And my grandma was a big bingo player, and I would go play bingo with her, and she would win so much, and I wouldn't win anything, and I'd be whining and stuff. And I was like single-digit age. So she traded me cards one time, and then she won on my card, and I still lost. So couldn't win for anything. And to this day, I still don't win at bingo. I spend a lot of money playing, but don't win. And the cakewalk. Who remembers doing those? A lot of times you'd do those at school fairs and stuff as a fundraiser. Then you have the nachos. Sometimes they can be quite good depending on where you get them and stuff. And then to guess your weight. I'm always amazed at how close some of them could get. And the teacups. They were always fun. Of course, there again, if you didn't spin them. When you got spinning them, that turned me green. And train rides. Some would be little trains. Some would be big full-size trains. There was a little park we went to as kids called Deer Forest. And it was just, we lived in northern Indiana and South Bend, and this was just over the border in Michigan. And they had a small train, the kind where like the guy who sits on the engine is like pretty much bigger than the engine. And each car could only hold like 1 or 2 people, but it would go all the way around the park. Well, what we would do is we would find a nice picnic area and near the train tracks. So when the train came by, we'd give the guy some chicken or whatever. He'd let us hop on the train, and that would take us all the way into the park, and then we'd ride rides. And then when we were ready to come back, we'd get on the train, and he would let us off there where our picnic site was just by feeding them food. So that was fun. We always enjoyed that. And plane rides, I enjoyed these too because I was definitely, even as a kid, I was a plane geek. I loved to fly. And stuffed animals, you can win those in most of the games that you play. And the rock walls, that wasn't my thing, but you find those on ships now too, where you can climb them up and ring the bells up at the top. And a fun house. This is where you'd have the mirrors and the little tunnels that spun and the rocking floors, all kinds of different things. They could be quite interesting too. And the pendulum rides. Some of them get going quite high, and if you're sitting at the end of them, sometimes you look like you could fall right down. And the octopus. This was another one that sometimes I could handle. As I got older, I did better, but boy, they spun around too much. And I remember going to the county fair as an adult with a couple of gals that I knew, and they put us in one of those cars. And before the ride even started, they spun the car around, and I was ready to get off then, but I didn't want to look like a chicken in front of the girls, so I stayed on it. And the rest of the night of the fair, I was just, I was sick to my stomach. I felt green, and I wasn't having any fun. So much for being brave. Okay, looking at the cards up here, we got, looks like everybody's down to 1. And, one person has 2. Okay, let's see what comes up next. Jesters. Kind of like the clowns, but they were did a lot of dancing around and joke telling and stuff like that. And then dancers. A lot of times there'd be square dance parties or all kinds of stuff like that going on, depending on what kind of entertainment might be there too. So Deep fried Oreos. Boy, now that would be a fattening little treat, wouldn't it? I think I've tried them before. They're not bad. And the scrambler. Now, this was one I liked. I called it the air conditioner because it didn't spin in circles, but it did go a lot. And on a hot summer day, as it's spinning around and you're getting that wind blowing in your hair, it really felt good. So I always called this one the air conditioner. And dance again, another duplicate. Elephant ears, there you go. Kind of like the funnel cakes, probably the same kind of batter, just a little different shape and still all kinds of goodies on it. And fudge. Gotta have fudge when you're, especially at the fairs, when the people make fudge and for the crafts and stuff. There's so many different kinds. Oh. And deep fried Oreos again. Boy, I got a lot of duplicates in here. And the flying swings. I don't think I ever rode them, but I did remember seeing those in quite a few parks. And tacos. Taco Bell. Oh, no, not Taco Bell, just tacos at the fair. Turkey legs. You don't see them very often, but I did see them in some parks, like I think Disneyland had them, and Six Flags, I think, had them. And barbecue. A lot of times there'd be a tent pretty close to the beer tent that had all kinds of barbecue and maybe ribs and pulled pork and good stuff, good stuff. And hot dogs. Gotta have hot dogs. One of the things I'm looking for on the Oasis. They got a hot dog place, and I think they have 4 or 5 different burgers, and I like every one of them. That's the good place I love to go at lunch. Okay, let's see. Bumper cars. There you go. Those were always fun. And balloons. Gotta have balloons all over the place for carnivals and fairs. Okay, let's see. 2 people are waiting for 1, and we still got 1 waiting for 2. Sodas. Gotta have those cold drinks. Do you call them pop? You call them colas, cokes, sodas? What do you call them? Balloon darts. Sit there and throw the balloon and pop, or throw the dart and pop the balloon. See if there's a prize behind it. And a photo booth. Those can be fun. I can remember, I think I've done one of those as like when I was in my 40s also, where there was a mall we went to in Cincinnati that when we were there for a wedding, and they had a big photo booth there where you could go in there and we got our pictures taken. It was cool. And booths. Got to have booths of all sorts when you're at the fair. And I think that means we're going to have a winner. Yes, Greg has got the winner. Way to go, Greg. Congratulations. Okay, let's go find the winner. Ta-da! Congratulations, Greg. Let me go add you on the sheet here. That moves you up 1. Of course, you're still in 3rd place, but you've got to win 6 more to bump up to be tied for 2nd place. But since Billy and Larry can't play very easily now, you still got a chance to get there, so hang in there. Okay, let's go reset the cards. Sherry, you can go ahead and get you a card and get ready to play. And so look at clear and scramble. And scramble the colors. Okay, we'll wait for Sherry to get her card. There she is. Okay. And I don't think we've got anybody else that has showed up in here. Let's see. Yep, I don't see anybody else in the chat, so we'll get ready to play the next game. Okay, ready? Here we go. Oh, we got to get a game. I'm losing it here. Okay, Greg, since you won, you get to pick the next pattern. See if we can try to guess what Greg will pick. I got an idea. Yep, that's what I thought. Since I mentioned it the first time around, I had a feeling you would choose that one. Okay, well, let's go get the plane. Okay, we'll turn that one off and find the plane. The plane, the plane. Okay, where is the plane? Oh, there it is right there. Okay. All righty. Ready to go, guys? It's playing round 2. I'll try not to talk so much in between them like I did last one. You know me. When I'm up here alone, I can chat away all the kinds of stuff. Okay, first one is the drop tower. Then we have the flying swings. In the wax museum. You ever been to any of the famous wax museums? Some of those are really quite interesting. And the duck grab. And cotton candy. And a Ferris wheel. And the devil's wheel. And deep fried Oreos. And booze. Yeah, I bet this summer there were a lot of political booths. And corn dogs. Whoops, too fast. Next one is bingo. Wouldn't that be interesting if that was actually the winning one for somebody to win bingo on? Then we have the tilt-a-whirl. Followed by turkey legs. Give a few weeks here for Thanksgiving. We'll be fighting over turkey legs. And then you have balloons. And water slides. And popcorn. You like yours with a lot of butter or just plain? I love a lot of good butter on it. Not a lot of salt, though. Then you have the fun house. And exhibitions. Not exhibitionists, so don't get me wrong there. We're not talking about that. Yeah, drop tower again. We got bounce house. And the fire eater. And elephant ears. And dance. I don't think we've had a new one pop up yet this game. So, and the octopus. And pies. and churros. In the Hall of Mirrors. I know somebody was waiting for, a couple of people were waiting for that the last game. That's a new one. In the rifle shot. In the water gun race. In teacups. Followed by the bumper cars. And the rock wall. Oops. We got cheese curds. And of course, you saw the next one. Archery. And snow cones. And cornhole. And helicopters. I remember one, can't remember what store it was, but you know, some stores will have like the little horses you ride or something. They had a single helicopter you could ride, and every time we went to that store, I had to ride that thing. Then we have clowns. And the scrambler. And soft pretzels. And jesters. And skee ball. And sodas. Balloon darts. And barbecue. And dancers. I think that one's a repeat again. And nachos. And bottle ball. And river raft. And basketball. And sideshows. And the duck grab. And roller coasters. Ooh, looks like Sherry's getting close. She's down to, it looks like 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on one of Greg's cards. 4 on another. And Michael Ann's got, she's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like. So let's see if we can come up with brats. There we go. That was one that somebody was waiting for last game that never showed up. And hamburgers. And mini golf. And the ring toss. And the devil's wheel. And a photo booth. and the cakewalk. And the sack race. And the pendulum. And the bungee. And fudge. Lemon shake-ups. And the blooming onion. Okay, we got a few people narrowing it down again. And ice cream. And French fries. And pizza. And the ladder toss. And hot dogs. Armor hot dogs. The dogs kids like to munch. Then we have the go-karts. The log flume. And a haunted house. And peanuts. Get your peanuts. And pony rides. And tacos. And the mechanical bull. And the juggler. And plane rides. And the gyroscope. And we got quite a few down to just one. The others are just down to two. So. Stuffed animals. I think that's going to be a winner. Yes, congratulations, Sherry. I thought that looked like it was going to be a winner for you. All right, find the winner sign here. We have a winner. Way to go, way to go. Okay, let's clear and scramble the cards. Scramble the collar. And I got to remember to go add you onto the spreadsheet. Okay, now we're getting ready for the final game. And of course, this one is traditionally, it's going to be the coverall. So y'all ready to get going on the last one here? Yeah, the spreadsheet is what I keep track of all the winners, Sherry, because everybody who's won a game gets added to the spreadsheet. So whenever we finally get enough people where I have the big one with jewelry for prizes and stuff, we're going to have one big grand prize that we will draw at the end of that one. And everybody who's ever won a game will be in that drawing. So the more you win, the more chances you'll be in the drawing. Okay, let's see if we can crack this one out. We got 10 minutes left for the hour. Let's see how quick we can do it. We got the cakewalk. Whoops, I got to get the bingo caller up and turn off the winner. There we go. Okay, we got cakewalk. And teacups. And juggler. And the ladder toss. And cotton candy. And booze. Boy, we're not finding too many on the people's cards yet, are we? There we go. Roller coaster. And the bungee. And corn dogs. And the photo booth. And turkey legs. And the water gun race. And the mechanical bull. Oops, I think I skipped one here. We got fudge. Yep, fudge was after the mechanical bull. And then we have barbecue. That makes me hungry just looking at it. And water slides. And stuffed animals. And the carousel. Or some people call it a merry-go-round. And the fire eater. And the scrambler. And guess the weight. And skee ball. Greg, are you just playing one card for this game? Because oh, okay, I see now you're marking some of the other ones. Okay. And basketball. And whack-a-mole. And the beer tent. And the river raft. It's just iced tea, no beer. And jesters. And dance. And snow cones. And the duck grab. And pies. And nachos. Yes, beer tent was called, Sherry. And the duck grab again. That one keeps repeating. I got to remember to clear these out next time. Balloons. And helicopters. And hot dogs. And the drop tower. And deep fried Oreos. And the devil's wheel. And popcorn. And peanuts. Popcorn and peanuts and apple jacks. Flying swings. And the sack race. And brats. Love all those cooked peppers and onions on them. And exhibitions. And the glass ring toss. Elephant ears. And bumper cars. I saw a car today in the parking lot where I was at. It was all banged up on the back end, and it had a bumper sticker that says, "Go ahead and hit me. I don't know what my insurance is for anyway." Next one is train rides. Then we have cornhole. And sodas. Cheese curds. And dance. I think we called that one already. And the octopus. And mini golf. And tilt-a-whirl. And pony rides. And archery. Churros. And balloon darts. And a fun house. And a rifle shot. And a hall of mirrors. And lemon shake-ups. And the blooming onion. And French fries. And hamburgers. And pizza. and a haunted house. And the gyroscope. And ice cream. And the drop tower again. Deep fried Oreos. That one's a repeat as well. So you got it twice on your card, you can mark it twice. Go-karts. And a Ferris wheel. Tacos. And a bounce house. We got a few people getting close. A log flume. And the pendulum. And a clown. Whoops. And bingo. And funnel cakes. And a ring toss. And plane rides. Looks like we got a couple of cards here down to one. And a couple at two. So it's getting to be a close game. And the rock wall. Well, that now knocks the two cards that needed two down to just needing one. And the wax museum. Now we have a winner. And I'm not sure if that person's aware of it because they got a couple that haven't been marked on their card. Ooh, Michael Ann. Oh, she got a winner as well. Okay, so we got two winners. The other winner should be able to see now because I corrected the boo-boo. Greg, one of Greg's cards was also a winner. So we got Greg and Michael Ann both as winners. Congratulations. Okay, let's find the winner. There we go. We got a winner. Let me go add it to the spreadsheet here. And that moves Greg up another one. Okay, congratulations to our winners. And thank you to everybody who played today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It brings back a lot of memories. I know I enjoy when I just put these things together. And for next week's games, let's see. What do I got ready for next week? Let me see. Today we got... Okay, I'm working. I don't have the Golden Girls. I've got a list created, but I don't have the cards ready. I got... okay, haven't done that one yet. I got one with various cruise terms. I've got one with loyalty clubs for the various cruise lines. I've got Florida Wildflowers, I think. No, maybe I don't think I have that one yet. That's one I'm working on. I have Candy Bingo and cruise photo bingos, different things that people will take pictures of on a cruise. So all of those I currently have available. I won't be able to finish up the Golden Girls one because starting tomorrow I'll be on a cruise till Sunday. So when I get back on Monday and Tuesday, I'll work on it. If I get that done in time, maybe we'll do the Golden Girls bingo. So let's see. If you heard one of those that you like, let me know and we'll plan it that way. Cruiser candy sounds good, Michael Ann says. Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys all came and you had fun. Thank you for playing with us. And we will see next week. I'll be back from the cruise. So hopefully next week we will be back on the cruise, on the game again online at 5 p.m. So we'll see y'all next week. Ciao, everybody.